Hello pumpkins, how are we today? All three of you can just write in the comment section, I'm fine, or you could write, I'm not fine, and then I can shoot you a message and we can have a talk, because I want you to at least be fine, preferably really good. Anyway, off to the therapist. I actually don't know what naprapat is in English, so I'm just going to say therapist, because I know Shiro, Cairo, you know, but yeah, I should probably Google that. But anyway, I've heard really good things about him. I was never a believer in stuff like acupuncture, but I believe that acupuncture has gained more ground recently and has actually started being proved to be quite effective. And to be honest, whatever gets my shoulder working again will be fine, because I mean, I've felt some pain before, but this is big pain, and it's big pain that's causing me to not be able to do my job how I want to do my job, you know, like clinch is just off the menu for me, because even when I lie down in bed, if I roll onto the wrong angle, my hand's too far from my body, it feels like my shoulder's like dislocating. So it's you could say it's getting kind of serious. Anyway, so I did legs and abs this morning, just 2 sets of abs, because I do abs kind of often, like 3, 4, 5 days a week. So 2 hard sets and I'm golden, because I did 5 hard sets on Sunday, so that's pretty fine for me. But the leg press, I did these silly sausages running out in front of 2 buses parked either side of the road, and they're running between the buses. So dangerous. Is it worth it, guys? That's what I want you to. My nanan, my grandmother, God rest her sweet soul, she always used to say to me, better to be an hour early than 1 minute late. And I love that. That's why I'm never late. But she also said, it's better to be late in this life than early to the next. So if there is a chance that I'm going to be running late, I think about my grandmother, and I'm chill, I'm relaxed. I'm not gonna, the damage is done. The best thing I can do is turn up to whatever agreement that was, composed, prepared, apologetic, and enthused, and not be one of the terrible tales of someone that's just, for the silliest reasons, you know, like people have gone to meet with friends who would be absolutely fine that they're 5 minutes late, even half an hour late, you know, as long as it's not a regular thing. But even then, better than you getting in a pile-up, better than you getting hit by a bus crossing the road. An exam is not worth it, you know, nothing is worth ending your life like that, so, or getting into a big accident that would change your life. Anyway, that is how I think of time. I love to be early, and I'm actually very early now. Going to the going to the therapist now. A little bit nervous, honestly. I'm a little bit nervous, and I know I'm a little bit nervous because I'm getting nicotine withdrawals, physical withdrawals. My eyes feel funny, and I feel a little bit just lackluster in general, and if you're from Trondheim, you can tell me where I am based on the fact that I just whiffed the most tremendous cloud of coffee. I love this time of day driving past here. But yeah, so I'm a little bit stressed about my shoulder. I want it to be better, and I don't want it to be too bad. I don't want to have anything that's like corticosteroids need pumping into my shoulder. I heard that's agony. But here's the deal. I know now that that is a mini spiral, right? So what you saw there and what is going on is obviously a mini spiral. It's the what if, the what if, the what if. What if not is a healthier thing to ask. What if, because it's just as realistic a question to ask yourself than what if it all goes wrong. So, all right, but what if it all goes right? And you're like, yeah, well, nothing all goes right. And it's like, yeah, but nothing all goes wrong either. And if it does, well, I've been in a situation where pretty much everything has gone wrong. And the only thing there is to do, really, at the end of it, the only thing there is to do is either laugh or cry, or a combination of both of them. You can't do anything about it. So if you're in a situation where you're like, what if this happens and it's negative? What if not? What if I go there and he says, I'm sorry, you've got aggressive shoulder aids and we're going to have to cut that arm off straight away. That is not, well, maybe not shoulder aids, because I don't think that exists, but something terribly wrong with my shoulder and they need to remove my arm. It could well happen, but what if they turn up and say, sorry mate, this is actually all in your head. You tweaked your shoulder a few months ago and it's just got into your head and there's actually nothing wrong with it. And then that shift goes, oh, just affects me in my mind. I'm like, oh really? Okay, I didn't know that. And then I'm fine. What if I turn up and it fixes itself like that? So there's really no point in doing the what if game whatsoever, you know, especially not with things like this. I'm going to find out. I need to go and find out now. So there's really not much point in asking the what if questions, because life is going to throw some really, really crazy what if questions at you. And I think in the small what if moments, like what if my shoulder's really bad and I need surgery, what if I can't work for 6 months, these are really small what if moments. They're, to my career, they're enormous, but it's much smaller than what if a miscarriage. What if that's cancer? What if, you know, what if wife and child don't survive childbirth? That is a what if, right? That's a crazy what if. And I feel like it would serve me best to practice being good at the what ifs that are, in comparison, very, very small, you know. Practice those as much as possible, and God forbid I ever have to come and test my mettle and test my what if game against a what if that is really something else, you know. And that's my theory anyway. Not sure how we got down this path, but I'm glad I got it off my chest. I really like talking when I'm driving the car, because I don't get much time to talk to people. I get time to talk to people at the end of the day when they come in and do woo, when they get into I thought I was going to get hit by a truck. I get time to talk at the end of the day, you know, like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. But it's usually about training, it's usually about Muay Thai. It's not about like stuff that's on my mind. And people don't really pay membership to be like, let's go and have coach unload on me, you know. And I struggle with unloading on people anyway. I don't think it's right for me to unload a bit, especially on my students or members. Like, oh, I'm really struggling with pain at the moment. I'm really struggling with confidence in my identity and whether I am who I think I am and whether it's all going to hold up when dark times come, for example, you know. And I don't like to unload on my friends, because I know that they've got a lot going on. And I certainly don't like unloading on my partner. I'll like just say like, I'm not doing very well at the moment, for example. But that's it, you know. Because I've done that before, you know. I've been the guy that's like, look, I'm having a terrible time. And I did it wrong. I did it too often, did it too much. And it bit me on the arse. But I think that not doing it in any way, shape or form, because before I just didn't do it at all. Like I wouldn't even talk to a therapist, I wouldn't go to the doctors. You know, my partner at the time was like, look, you have to go to a therapist, like you are cooked, bro, as the kids are saying. And I thought I could do it all myself, and then turns out that I was absolutely wrong, because there's one or two voices in here. You know, there's two really, if you consider the thought as a conversation, but most of us haven't noticed that, or really given it much time to cook. But I mean, we believe most of what everyone says, and we certainly believe what we say, and we don't have any other voices with other opinions and other backgrounds and other meanings, you know, to say like, have you actually heard that out loud? Like, that's a lot of our thoughts we never even heard out loud. And when we have someone in front of us that is paid to care and therefore actually doesn't care, really, perhaps, or perhaps they do care. Sorry, that was a bit of a presumption, and I take that back entirely. But someone that is, you know, someone whose work it is to care, and you hear it coming out of your voice, or out of your mouth, you hear your own voice, and you're like, even just hearing your own voice, you just be like, I really actually should have said that to someone a long time ago, because that is the biggest load of waffle I've ever heard. You know, not in a unsympathetic way, but just waffle. Just an unfounded thought that only had one person. It was just like a one-man echo chamber, you know what I mean? And if you have a one-man echo chamber, the things that you interpret can be twisted in ways that you won't be aware of, because there's only you. It's just you. And that's what the problem is, I think, with kids that get into people like Andrew Tate, right, who teaches people that, you know, you shouldn't talk about your feelings and stuff like that, and you should just get on with it. And there's people that would say that, like, any time a woman hears you like cry or sees you cry or has to look after you emotionally, like, she gets less and less attracted to you. Guys, if you think that is true, it's not true. Life is about balance, okay? And I'm shouting this because it's absolutely passionate. This thinking fucked up my entire life. That thinking destroyed me, guys. Don't let it destroy you, right? Please, guys. If I hear you speak such nonsense, and if I hear you spread it, I will pray for you, but I might slap the shit out of you as well. Women are some of the most caring, beautiful, protective and powerful, strong people on the planet. The care that a woman will give to someone that she truly loves is a power that Mother Nature itself can barely control. Unfathomable power. The only time that power will kill you is if you take it for granted. But if you love it back, well, yeah. Don't be silly. Don't listen to people that tell you absolutes. Life is about balance. I was going to talk about legs, but I think this was more important. Anyway, I'm off to get my shit snapped up, so I'm going to tell you how everything went when I get back. I'm just going to get it out of the way, guys. I'm just going to get out of the way that I made a bit of a tit of myself at the therapist's. Was sat there until nearly 12 o'clock. My appointment was at 11. Yeah, I'm sat there till nearly 12 o'clock. Then he opens the office, and I'm fuming at this point, because I'm thinking, mate, first time treatment, and you're 50 minutes late and you haven't told me anything. And he's just like, have I got you today? And I was like, yes sir. And then he checked my appointment. He was like, that is not the date today. And I looked down and it was, yeah, it's next Tuesday. So not a proud moment, but something my brain does now and then when I am stressed about something or worrying about something. I don't get the so much of the visceral anxiety, the shakes, the sweats. I don't really get that. I just get quite forgetful. Same when I get low, I get very forgetful and I do silly stuff. So it's obviously some stuff I need to pay attention to. But yeah, my clock was out by a week, so not the proudest moment. But that gives me time to do some of my own, well, more of my own rehab and change a couple of things up there. So that was fun. And then I had 45 minutes on the treadmill just chugging away, and a beefy leg session obviously this morning, as I mentioned, and that was fantastic. And yes, the leg session that I never got around to talking about, I can feel that my quads are absolutely smashed. So I think I've found a winning ingredient, because I haven't been able to smash my quads. Even squatting heavy weight, like over double body weight squats, I haven't been able to get the quads very tired, because my glutes just go, I'll do it, and then they take over. So the key ingredient was I spammed leg extensions, like 4 sets of leg extensions, very like all the way till I couldn't do any more. And then I did leg press with my feet almost touching, like I normally do, my feet almost touching on the leg press. But this time I didn't go to depth. I didn't flare my knees out to the side whatsoever. I just bent, I bent my knees in front of me so that I couldn't go below 90 degrees. And my quads are absolutely violated this morning. So that's, we're off to a winner there. And then just did a little bit of ab work, did some booty builder, hip extension. Anyway, I'm going to start filming a little bit of training, because maybe you want to see it, maybe you don't. But it'd be nice for me to see it so I can really, hold myself accountable and not be a biatch and puss out when the reps get hard. Okay, just keep cocking it. Had some guys over to look at the ventilation of the gym, because this is primarily what the channel's about, getting jacked as heck and making the gym better, because I really think I can make this gym, like I keep getting flashes of what I can make this gym look like in the future, and it just spurs me on. All right, it's the carrot dangling in front of me. I just want to chomp it. So first steps first, I've got to get that ventilation up, because the ventilation is just lacking a little bit. Okay, it's not a problem now because I could just, it's cold. It's not getting very hot in there. It's not a problem. I can open the door and it's going to be cold straight away. It's going to be emptied of all the air. But when it's middle of July and it's 30 degrees outside and we got 40 people hustling and bustling and grinding and throwing kicks, it's going to be pretty slimy in there. So had someone round, had a couple of people around to look at the ventilation, and they're gonna check how they can make the ventilation as cost efficient as possible while being as suitable for a gym as possible. So that's a nice step in the right direction, and we will be trying to take that into room number 2. Room number 2, which is currently unused and is not rented by me, is rented by our other company. It's about 100 square meters just sitting there, prime real estate, waiting for me to put weights in. And I've just got to figure out a way. I just got to figure out a way to get those weights in there. I got to find somewhere to get those weights from. I got to find them for a good price. I got to find a good standard, and I've got to get them in there, and I've got to get the mats down in there. And it's a new chapter. It's a new mountain to climb. I'm not looking for the craziest bodybuilding gym or anything like that. I'm just looking for quality equipment where you could take someone that's never lifted before and you could get them big. All right, but you could take someone that's already reasonably strong or already strong and get them even stronger. I'm talking just the foundational pieces of equipment that you need. All right, talking barbells, talking dumbbells, talking a rack. All right, talking hip extension or hip thrust, talking cables, guys. Talking about cables. All right, that kind of stuff. I'm not. I'll be honest with you. It's not going to be hammer strength from wall to wall, because there's places that have that and I don't want it. It's just more work than I'm willing to put in to a tiny room, and the biggest reason is it won't fit. But I want just a heavy weight section, just clang and bang, sling it and fling it. All right, grind it out, sweat, scream, shout, listen to heavy metal, and just absolutely send it in that room. That is what is going to happen at NCA over the next chunk of time. I don't know. There's one thing I know about business is I don't know how long shit takes, because no one knows how long anything takes in business. And if you do, you're paid handsomely for it. So if you know that kind of thing and you're watching me, you are wasting your time, buddy. Go speak to a bank or something. I don't know. Fortune 500's waiting for you. Anyway, what is intimidating about it is just the fact that there's a lot of things I haven't looked at. You know, there's budgeting that goes into it. Then you got to think about how many members I have, how many members I'm predicting to have, and how many members I can safely lose without that investment costing me my livelihood. So each step forward is, you really, really have to do your due diligence, right? Because it's not, let's just say I have 100 members. It's like, okay, that's fine. If you have 100 members, you could afford that today. But if you drop down to 75 members, would that be kicking you in the balls? Because then you might have to think about it. You're like, all right, so what do I do? Do I go up to 125? Or do I find options that allow me to have the safety net at around 95 instead of 75? So there's a lot of planning that goes into it. But I know what I want NCA to look like. And a simple, heavy, enthusiastic weights room is part of it. And then I need to sit down soon. I need to change, or I want to change the way things are looking in the gym. Outside of that, and I'm thinking it might be an idea to extend the matted area and try and put together 2 chill out areas instead of, I've got a lot of empty space and I need to figure out how to use it. So lots to think about. But yeah, tomorrow the plan is lift some weights in the morning. Just gonna get a nice little pump going on. Not stress my shoulder out too much, and then I'm going to try PTs. I got 3 or 4 PT sessions booked in, and then we're going to work nice and technical. Obviously I can't take a beating. I can push with a slow, controlled build up. The one thing I can't do is just take sudden big shocks at all sorts of angles, but it's not going to be a huge problem unless it becomes a huge problem, and I don't think it will, and I have the experience to figure it out. But I'm certainly not in enough pain to justify cancelling all my personal training sessions tomorrow, and I just don't want to. I don't want this to control me, and I don't want it to push me around and bully me. All right, so I'm going to take control of this, and it's going to be beautiful. And I've got a couple of couple of cool things that I'm working on. I really want to focus on the social media side of things, the Instagrams. I really want to push it forward, and I've already started recording some stuff, as I told you about, and it's going to be fun. So stay tuned. I don't know. I honestly don't know who's watching this, but if there's anything you would like to see about, like, whether it's training, whether it's PTs, whether it's running a gym, whether it's my own training or anything like that, like, just comment, maybe send me a message, and I obviously would love to put out some stuff that you guys want to see, as long as I can empty my head and sort my thoughts out while I do that. That would be fantastic. But yeah, comment below, subscribe, share with your friends. If I ever say anything funny or interesting, it'd be cool if you could tell someone about it. New low body weight of 81.6. And I'm about to go change that because I'm absolutely Hank Marvin. I'm not going to draw out a pointless conversation. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you. Ciao for now, pumpkins. See you tomorrow.